Woo child. Woo child. Hey guys, it's Bria and I'm coming to you today with a video. You guys can see I'm standing up because I had to do a different scenery. I have a new ring light and it's a little bit taller, so I'm not able to sit down anymore. So I had to come and do a video standing up. And this video, as you can tell by the title, is about Mr. Sincere. Sincere is 8 months today, and if you guys cannot believe, he was born at 4. Really? You gonna pull mommy hair out? Born at 4 pounds 2 ounces, and my boy is probably like 20 pounds today. Big boy. So I'm gonna put him down for just a second because he's not gonna act right. So if you guys hear anything in the background, I have Sincere's music playing, and then Sincere's on the bed, so you guys are probably gonna be able to hear him. Stay seated. This video is gonna be a little bit all over the place because he is like a busybody. So Sincere was born at 4 pounds 2 ounces. And I had him due to preeclampsia and diabetes. Now, I'm not like a really big girl. Of course, I've gotten bigger since I've had my baby, but I wasn't really a big girl before, so I didn't think that I would have a problem with preeclampsia and diabetes, but I did. The day that I went to the doctor, I was induced. My blood pressure was 180/81 over something, so I was close to having a seizure, so I had to be induced with Mr. Sincere. Sincere came the day of his baby shower, or the weekend of his baby shower, and I was so upset because I was like, I'm supposed to be having my baby shower, and I ended up having to have Sincere. So I was in the doctor's office. I had to be triaged and had to have my baby that weekend. It was a little bit unexpected. So going into the NICU, guys, I had a C-section, and they took him away from me as soon as I had him, which was kind of, you know, like I was a little bit irritated, but that's just what they had to do to make sure that he was okay. So they took him to the NICU, and Sincere was in the NICU for 13 days. I don't know why. I will never forget that number. He was in the NICU for a full 13 days, and that was probably one of the hardest times of my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. The nurses, there were some nurses that there are some nurses that I liked and some nurses that I did not like. And if a nurse that I did not like was there, I would sit there all day until the nurse that I got there came. I was like a crazy mama. So I would sit there. If the nurse was like not there from like 9 to 7 at night, I would sit there all day like I was at a job. What made the process a little bit easier was that the hospital that I went to had cameras. So you were able to log on and see your child anytime. I would wake up at like 5, 6, 7. I would look at him so much. And one night the lady was like, ma'am, I'm just going to need you to get some rest and go to sleep. Because I was on there at like 5 o'clock in the morning and my blood pressure was already up, girl. So this process didn't make it any easier, but we got through it. So, the process itself, you guys, was really, really hard. I had a good support system though, but from the day I had my C-section to the day that he got out, I literally went up there every day. It's amazing what us women can go through after we have our bodies like ripped apart, torn apart, cut open. I still managed to go every single day to see my baby. So yeah. So, what else can I tell you guys about the NICU? Things that can ease your mind while you're there is that you guys are just want to keep busy. He stayed in there, of course. I got to come home, and I was just trying to keep busy. I was trying to do wigs and stuff like that. You're going to want to try to keep yourself busy to keep your mind off of it, and just understand that he does have to be there because that's the only way that he or she is going to get better. If you guys have to pray about it, whatever you have to do, just to make sure that you don't stress yourself out even more, especially if you were like me and you were dealing with high blood pressure. I still had high blood pressure after my pregnancy, so it was really, really, really stressful for me to have to leave my baby at the hospital. But you guys have to understand that you can get through it, and that you really just have to be patient, because you have to know that those ladies there are there to get them well. Now, if you are like crazy like me, if you're crazy like me, then you can log onto cameras if they have them. Make sure you ask if they have them, and do not be afraid to call up there and ask them to turn them things on, because there were sometimes that the cameras was turned off. So don't be afraid to call up and ask them to turn them on if it makes your day easier, because it always made mine easier to be able to just log on and see him and see that he was okay. So yeah, so just you guys are also going to want to, if it makes it easier for you to visit. At first I felt bad sitting there for long periods of the day, but the nurses didn't mind. It was some really great nurses there, and I would sit there for like hours. I would have lunch there. Guys, I promise you, I was like at a second job going into the NICU. So you're going to want to make sure that if it makes it easier for you to sit up there, guys, go sit up there and cuddle your baby as long as you have to. Also, make sure that you have a really good support system, whether it's a friend, mom. If you don't have a support system, it's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube to help you through it. I'm not a talker. Even if I love you to death, I just don't like talking to people about my issues. So I would go on YouTube and just look up a ton of videos of people that had experienced their baby being in the NICU and how they got through it and things like that. So down here, and I told y'all this video was going to be on all over the place, so just bear with me. So down here, you guys have to, the baby has to be a certain weight and eating before they leave the NICU. Sincere would not freaking eat. He just would not eat. I was like, boy, what is wrong with you? He just would not eat. Finally, when he started eating a little bit and stuff like that, they finally was able to send him home. But like I said, that took a whole 13 days for him to actually get home. Because he just wasn't eating. This is actually a little can that he plays with. We still have him on the premature baby milk. He's been doing good with that, but I don't know what they would give you guys. But this is the milk that he's on, the Similac NeoSure for babies born prematurely, and he really does really good at this. Guys, just please be patient in this experience. Pray, know that everything will be okay, because if you're aware, you're like me, I was like so worried. So just know that everything is going to be okay, and just pray about it, and just know that it will be all over soon. The reason why I didn't like some of the nurses, because some of the nurses were like not as compassionate to me. And one time I went in there and it looks like Sincere had been sitting and throw up all freaking day. And I told the nurse, I was like, can I get him a new Snuggie thing, because you know that how they had to be wrapped up in those little Snuggie things. And I was trying to give her the hat of his. Sorry y'all, she took the hat and she picked it up like this. Like, she picked it up with her fingers like that, and that really pissed me off to where I started crying. Like, guys, it's going to be some nurses you like, it's going to be some nurses that you dislike, but you guys have to understand those ladies are there to do their job. And if anything, like I said, just come and look up videos, because sometimes you probably are going to want to square up with somebody, but just understand those ladies are there to do their job. And another thing I would suggest not doing is don't look at babies being snatched away or kidnapped. I did that, and it was probably the worst thing to do, because I was like so paranoid, right, Sincere? I was so paranoid because I just kept looking up videos like that. So guys, do not do what I did. Really, guys, that's really it. I really don't have too much to say to it. I know that if I have anything to say, I'll add it in the bottom description bar. Overall, my experience was great, but of course I was worried. So I say all this to say to not discourage yourself, and do not stress yourself out, because everything is going to be okay. And sometimes that's all I needed to hear. You want to say bye-bye? Want to say bye-bye? This is clean, guys. Here. Bye, and thank you for watching my video.